Hi readers, over on, oh what the hell am I saying? Sorry, I got off to a start there. I guess I was in my head. Anywho, welcome back to my channel, Lila Wanders and Reads. Lee here, forgetting where she is, and today I have for you a book haul from Blackwell's. So, 2 of these are from the Booker long list, and I will be reading this over the course of this month, and 3 were books I purchased based on someone else's Booker Prize long list predictions, and none of those 3 ended up on the list. However, they are still ones that I want to read, and I'll tell you about them when we get there. I have 2 more books coming in from Blackwell's that are on the Booker Prize long list. The 13th book has not been published yet, so I'll have 12 total books to read as part of this project. I've already read 3. So next up for me, from the Booker long list, is The Rest of Our Lives by Ben Markovits. Now let me just tell you, whenever I see this author's name or say it, I automatically think of Ben Mankiewicz, who is on Turner Classic Movies. Anywho, not the same guy. So, what is this about? When Tom Layward's wife had an affair, he resolved to leave her as soon as his youngest daughter turned 18. 12 years later, while driving her to Pittsburgh to start university, he remembers his pact. He's also on the run from his own health issues and the fact that he's been put on leave at work after students complained about the politics of his law class, something he hasn't yet told his wife. So, after dropping Miriam off, he keeps driving, with the vague plan of visiting people from his past, an old college friend, his ex-girlfriend, his brother, his son en route, maybe to his father's grave in California. Somebody said, and I hope that this is not true, that this is like a male version of All Fours. I hope not. I did not like All Fours. I finished it, but the narrator, the main character, was not for me, so I'm hoping that this is not like that. At least he has a better reason for just driving off into the sunset than the woman from All Fours did. Anywho, I don't want to think about that book anymore. The next book also made the long list, and this is a book that I wanted to buy last December because of some reviews I heard about it online, and I'm talking about The Land in Winter by Andrew Miller. This seems really atmospheric. I almost hate to read it right now because it's hot. Well, we've had false fall here in North Carolina, but the heat is coming back next week, so it'll be up in the 90s. But it's going to be a minute before I get to it because this is one of the larger books. And right now I'm trying to read from the shortest to the longest. So this is like second to the longest. December 1962, the West Country. I don't know where the West Country is. Is it in the UK? I don't know. Let's move on. In the darkness of an old asylum, a young man unscrews the lid from a bottle of sleeping pills. In a nearby village, 2 couples begin their day. Local Dr. Eric Perry, mulling secrets, sets out on his rounds while his pregnant wife sleeps in the warmth of their cottage. Across the field, in a farmhouse impossible to heat, funny, troubled Rita Simmons is also asleep, her head full of images of a past life her husband prefers to ignore. He's been up for hours tending to the needs of the small dairy farm he bought, a place where he hoped to create a new version of himself, a project that's already faltering. There is affection, almost choked on my own spit, if not always love, in both homes. These are marriages that still hold some promise, but when the ordinary cold of an English December gives way to violent blizzards, a true winter, the harshest in living memory, the 2 couples find their lives beginning to unravel. Where do you hide when you can't leave home? And where, in a frozen world, can you run to? Again, I've heard really good reviews of this. I'm really looking forward to reading it. I can't wait till I get there. Maybe we'll have another false fall when I get to that book, and it'll be cool outside, because I really feel like I need to read it in front of the fireplace, but I'm not going to do that now. Okay, so now we get to the books that some people predicted would be on the Booker Prize long list, but these were not. Two of these I had already heard of and I wanted to read, and they are available in the United States. Forgot to mention The Rest of Our Lives. I put a link in the comments to Blackwell's. That's not available in the US yet. And The Land in Winter. They pushed up the pub date. It's now like 4 November to pub in the US. But I could not wait, so I ordered it from Blackwell's. So, next up, this one is available in the United States. It's Ghost Wedding by David Park. I've never read anything by him, but Roddy Doyle? I'm having a worse time of it today. Let me slow down. Roddy Doyle, one of the Booker Prize Booker Prize judges, blurbed this book, and so a lot of people speculated that it would be on there. It was not. This is in my kind of nonfiction. This is fiction, but it's in my nonfiction area that I like to study, and it is between the two world wars, if I'm correct on that. When George Allenby is put in charge of building a lake in the grounds of an imposing Irish manor house, he intends to complete the job as swiftly as possible and return to Belfast. Allenby is still wrestling with his time as an officer in the First World War, burdened by many things he could have done differently. Almost a century later, Alex and Ellie are preparing for their wedding, sparing no expense to hire a venue overlooking the very lake Allenby built all those years ago. Like Allenby before him, Alex is haunted by decisions he made in the past. Now, with the wedding drawing ever closer, he is at a crossroads. Telling the truth might free him up from his guilt. It might also take away everything he cares about, including Ellie. God, this looks good too. Anywho, definitely want to read this soon. And I've got a little something to share with you at the end about book hauls and reading and my addiction. So, next up is a book I would not have heard of had not someone predicted it to be on the Booker Prize long list. It's not, but I'm really interested in reading this. This is The Tiger's Share by Keshava Guba. Apologies if I pronounced it incorrectly. I love this cover. It goes with my glasses. Tara, a successful Delhi lawyer, is everything her younger brother isn't. Dedicated, independent, thriving. When their beloved father retires, he summons them to a meeting where he reveals himself to be far from the quiet, conventional accountant they thought they knew. What he has to say threatens to tear the family apart. Lila, Tara's friend, has it all. A great job, a lovely home, a beautiful family. But when Lila's father dies unexpectedly, her brother wastes no time in claiming what he believes to be his. Together, Tara and Lila are forced to confront the challenge their ambition poses to patriarchal society in a country where old elites and norms are under threat. Set against a backdrop of ecological breakdown and political unrest, The Tiger's Share is both a family and state-of-the-nation novel unlike anything else in contemporary Indian fiction. It does not say when this takes place. However, this is timely, in my opinion, and I look forward to reading it again soon. Finally, this is a book that has been on my radar. Someone predicted it would be on the long list. It is not, but I've wanted to read Our Beautiful Boys by Samir Pandya. Not sure if that's how you pronounce it. And since it was on that predictions video and I was at Blackwell's at the time, this is available in the US, but I just picked it up from Blackwell's since I was already on the site at the time. And I wasn't in a hurry to get it. I know my son. I know what he is and what he isn't capable of. Reveling in the triumph of a high school football win, MJ, Vikram, and Diego find themselves at an ill-fated party on a night that ends with the school bully in hospital. When no one comes forward with the truth of what actually happened, all three teenage all-stars are suspended for the rest of the season, their futures suddenly uncertain. In the aftermath, the families gather to assess the damage to their children's prospects, their reputations, and their own relationships. As other secrets begin to bubble to the surface, each parent attempts to navigate the crisis at hand, confronted with their own inner turmoil and the questions none of them want to face. How well can you ever truly know your own child? So, again, another one I look forward to. Gosh, there's just not enough time in the day, and there's not enough bookcases in my house to house all the books that I want to get to soon. I've got well over 4,000 books. And yesterday, I went through, I have all these little carts in this room that I'm in right now that have books. So I went through and tagged the location in my app so that I could know what was where, because there's nothing worse than wanting to read a book and you can't find it. Upstairs they're all alphabetized, downstairs it's a fucking mess, but so many. I don't have enough of the carts or bookcases to house them, and it made me realize that I probably need to stop book hauling so much and just do select new releases that I know I'm going to read right away, because I've got too much to get to. I know that there are probably worse problems to have than having too many books, but I don't think too many books is a thing, but I do have now more than I could ever read in my lifetime, but it makes me happy. So I think moving forward, I'm going to haul books that I already have that I haven't talked about before, in hopes that it helps me get to some of them sooner. Because when I do a video like this, I'm like, oh, I want to read this, I want to read this, I want to read this. And then, you know, shiny object comes along and I get off track. I also don't like to go off of lists and, you know, like a stack of books I have to read, because then, again, I rebel against myself and say, no, I'm not going to do what you're telling me to. Anywho, that is all for me. Probably no more videos this week. I've got to do some chores around the house, and I've got to finish my current read so I can get on with the rest of our lives. As always, if you've stuck with me this long, thank you for sticking with me on my journey, and happy reading.